I'm going to show you how you can set up Hermes via the desktop app. It's a huge major update from News Research and basically eliminates any excuse and barrier you once had to use an AI harness and self-evolving agent like AI Hermes. So without further ado, let's just go ahead and just dive right in and I'll show you exactly how to set it up. So you'll just hop on over here to the website, and this is obviously the normal way to set it up is through like a terminal, and you just drop in this, literally just copy and paste it. But a lot of people feel uncomfortable with that, because they get a little overwhelmed and, with the kind of coding looking interface of the terminal. But that is pretty much eliminated with the desktop app. So you basically want to download this. It'll automatically detect what system you're using. So for my case, it's going to be Windows. So I'll download that, and then I'll get this nice, beautiful, essentially little setup exe right here. And then you'll just click it. It'll ask you to install it. It'll set up all the prerequisites to install Hermes. And then once it's done, it'll ask you if you want to use a certain model. I highly recommend this subscription that they offer. The big reason why is they have over 300 models. And if you're trying to be like if you're just a beginner, this is a really good place to start because it literally has all the models in here that you would pretty much need. And you don't have to have like 500 subscriptions to different models and things out there like that to juggle all these different API keys. You literally have just this one subscription and you're good to go. And they even have like basically $50 rollover. So if you don't use some of your credits, if you will, it rolls over to the next month. So very seamless, and you actually get a 10% discount on a couple of these like 20 and above plans right here. They do have a free model access. I think these help train some of the models. But if you're wanting to, not do that and use like the free stuff, you can come in here and get a higher subscription tier. So with that said, that's one way you can basically set up Hermes. Again, if you don't have a model already, you don't have a ChatGPT subscription or a Claude subscription. Now, if you do have those, you can use those too. So super easy to set up. Basically, once you click, OpenAI, it'll open up a screen. You just log into your ChatGPT account and it'll provide you a code on the screen. You just copy the code and drop it into Hermes, which is going to be something like this, where it'll have a code. Obviously, like I didn't get a subscription, but this is what I would drop in there if I did. And that's how you would connect ChatGPT. Same thing with the news portal, obviously, but we're not going to go ahead and get that today. Now, with that said, this is kind of what the interface looks like. One thing you need to know if you already have Hermes set up on a different computer remotely is you'll have to come on over here to the settings area, click on that, and then you'll go over to gateway and you'll have to click on remote gateway. Once you have the remote gateway, you want to get the URL for your native Hermes that is already installed locally on your other computer. Once you have that, so if you're using Tailscale, you'll probably have some funky looking URL and you want to grab that and throw that in there. You'll also have to grab the session token, and an easy way to do that is basically you'll just have to paste into your browser that it basically is a little snippet. I'll probably drop that in the description below. It's literally like view source or view dash source colon and then this URL, and you'll actually see the token. You can just grab the token, copy and paste it in there, save and reconnect, and you're off to the races. Everything will be synced like magic. I use Tailscale again. I highly recommend if you haven't used Tailscale before to go ahead and download it and set it up on your Hermes. It's a whole nother video, but it's free. You can actually set this up for free, and you can ask like Hermes or whatever. If you don't have Hermes set up, you could just ask ChatGPT how to set it up with Hermes. But once you have Hermes set up and ready to go, you can just ask Hermes to set up Tailscale for you. So that way you have a secure kind of network and you're accessing Hermes through Tailscale and not through like your local network. And it doesn't expose Hermes as well to like the internet, right? We don't want to expose Hermes to, to be potentially hacked and, all that stuff. So you want to have obviously like the security side set up ahead of time, and Tailscale is like one of the best ways to do so. So with that said, again, this is not a really security video, but that's something you definitely want to take pretty serious. Now, if you're trying to swap between these different models, so if you have a couple models already set up, you can do so and select here on the different models you may have. You can even select, the actual like thinking or the speed. So I can see here, I can even turn some of these off. So like if I don't use haiku, whatever, I can do so. I see there's Pro in there. So we'll go ahead and search through that. So how I'd select this model here is I could turn it up to the effort being high. So I just have to hover over that. I can even do fast thinking mode. So fast mode will pretty much spin, I think, 1.5x of your tokens quicker. So that's something to be aware of. Obviously, high does probably as well, and max definitely does. So something to think about. And then Pro, like if I wanted to like do some crazy work, I have access to Pro, which is pretty nice. Is like I don't know how easy it is actually, to do that via Telegram. So this actually makes things a little bit nicer. You even have YOLO here, YOLO off. So if you need to do like YOLO mode, it'll just like not ask for permission and just do stuff. So with that said, you can even update Hermes. So once you have it connected to your backend Hermes, you can connect it here and you can actually update it. And you can see like what's new, kind of a little bit of patch notes, and you can just update it right there. So a couple things like to notate here in the dashboard. This menu can actually go away if you don't need it. You can flip it back on and select a file and what have you. And with that said, you'll have all your sessions over here on the left hand. I can expand that. I can show you like I have a lot of crons running. So you can see like a lot of that's going to be cron sessions. You can even pin these. So you can just shift click and a chat to pin. In your artifacts, I don't believe I have any. Well, I guess I do have a lot. So with that said, messaging, like you can manage all your different apps here. So with that said, I can like connect to my Telegram, Discord, Slack, and so on. With that, in the different apps in there. In settings, you can access some of this as well. Like you can come in here, configure like your appearance. You can change your workspace. You can do a lot of things in here. Memory and context, like if I want to change the settings, I can do so. And the list goes on, like the providers. If I want to add some more API keys and basically more models, that's a way you can pretty much add those in. Tools and keys as well. This is another one here. I guess Windows needed some, let me go ahead and open it back up here. It is a new app, so I mean, this like just came out like the other day. So let's see if it opens. All right, so yeah, it defaulted to. That's pretty funny because it's not on dark mode like I anticipated. But we'll go into here, change the appearance. You could do so. Select like if you want this one, dark mode. I like mono. I think it's pretty cool. And yeah, that said, that's easy as that. It is new, so if you do see bugs, don't be too shocked by that. You can prompt with voice, which is pretty cool now. So voice dictation, start voice conversation, and /. You can see here like the different things you can do. Like you can steer the conversation, you can check out sessions. So a lot of these like pretty much commands are in here that you can use. So similar to Telegram or Discord, if you're using that. Again, the reasoning will be over here. So like that's the only thing that's kind of different here is the reasoning's down here in the bottom right. Whereas before you could just do like / reasoning, and it would basically give you an option to change the thinking, the way it thinks, like the effort. So yeah, that's pretty much like the ins and outs of using Hermes. Again, you don't have to set up the whole remote setup back here and under your gateway. You can just do it locally, and that's fine, and just use like your ChatGPT subscription. So if you're trying to do like the least amount of effort, that's like the best way. But yeah, hopefully this helps, and we can have some more videos like this in the future where it kind of covers like how to use Hermes. You can even see like the different open agents here. So I have no live sub agents running right now. I could see like the crons, gateway says ready. So that's going to be like I can open my command center if I need to. So yeah, this is basically like, I don't want to say dummy proof because there is a little bit of a setup, especially like if you are not keen on the remote gateway setup and Tailscale, you may have some difficulty there. But again, it's as easy as kind of prompting Hermes and just asking Hermes like how to set it up, or ask ChatGPT how to set it up, and just aiming at ChatGPT or Hermes at like the official documents. That's one way. That's one thing I do quite a bit is I just go over here to Docs and kind of look at the documents here and point either Hermes or ChatGPT or Claude at the actual documents here, and it'll have more context and basically walk you through how to exactly set everything up. If you are having difficulty, it's kind of a hack to do so, and hopefully that helps you get this set up off to the races so you can kind of like use Hermes to obviously obviously self-evolve with you over time, so you can use it for your business or whatever you're using Hermes for. And if you like this video, you found it helpful, give me a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel if you enjoyed this content, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.